Hello traders and welcome in a new daily markets outlook brought to you by the market research team at OnePro. I'm Mohamed Daoud and today is the 23rd of October 2023, the beginning of a new trading week. We have been having some extra volatility in the markets during the past 2 weeks due to some geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. So what do we expect during this week? Let's have a quick look on the economic agenda. What are the key risk events that we will be looking for, as well as the technical analysis of the main financial assets. This includes the dollar index, the euro, pound, gold, US crude oil, as well as the main indices for the stock market. We're having a very big week ahead regarding the earnings session. So, what are the companies that we are expecting to announce their third quarter results? How could this affect the financial markets? All of this will be discussed in today's daily market outlook, so please stay tuned. Starting off with the economic agenda for today and for this week, basically we can see that on Monday, the 23rd of October, we have nothing to look for. It's just the beginning of a new week. The Asian session was a little bit with low volatility, let's say, because we're having this holidays in both New Zealand as well as Hong Kong. Nothing more to look for. We had some statements from the Bank of Japan regarding the yield curve control. What will happen? Will the Bank of Japan interfere in the markets or in the FX markets to support the weakening Japanese yen or not? We will be having a look on this on the charts, especially on the dollar versus the Japanese yen. Starting tomorrow, the Tuesday, 24th of October, you'll be having a couple of very key risk events to look for, and this basically starts by the Asian session. We will be having the Bank of Japan core CPI, or the Consumer Price Index, which is the main inflation measure in Japan. It's for the month of September. However, it's on as a year-over-year basis. So we'll be comparing what happened to the inflation in Japan in September with the previous September, or the last September of the last year, 2022. Basically, it's expected to be around the same level of 3.3%. By the beginning of London session, specifically the pre-London session, we'll be having some very important data from the Great Britain, and this includes the employment. What's happening with the claimant count change, the new claims for the unemployment. We'll also be having the employment change quarterly, and we'll be having the unemployment rate for the month of August, not September, but it's for August. It's always a little bit delayed. Going forward, we will also be looking for some labor market indicators from the Great Britain, and that's pretty much it that we will be looking for tomorrow. We will be having the preliminary manufacturing PMI, as well as the composite PMI and the services PMI from the US session. This is very important to look for. So we are talking about this S&P Global US Manufacturing Composite and the Services PMI all together. On Wednesday, basically things will be more focused also as well on the Asian session. We will be having the CPI, this time from the Australian economy. This will be for the third quarter of the year 2023. We'll be comparing it with the previous quarter, which is the second one, as well as the third quarter of the last year, 2022. Very important US data to be announced on Wednesday, which is regarding the housing market or the housing sector. We'll be having the building permits month over month, as well as the new home sales. As we all know, the real estate market is one of the most sensitive markets to react to the global or to the overall economy. So that's why markets focus a lot with the US home sales data. We will be having the Bank of Canada monetary policy statement and interest rate decision to be announced. Markets are basically pricing in a hold in the interest rates, not an increase and not a decrease, not a rate hike or a rate cut. So we will be expecting to see holding the rates at around 5% from the Bank of Canada. We are also expecting the ECB President Christine Lagarde to speak on Wednesday. That will be around 9 p.m. Dubai time. So we should be looking forward to that as well. On Thursday, we are expecting Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell as well to give a speech. And the most important thing to look for during this week on Thursday will be the ECB interest rate decision and the monetary policy statement. So we will be having the interest rate decision from the European Central Bank, as well as we expect a rate hold, not a rate hike, basically to be kept around the same levels of 4.50%. We have also very important data from the US market, which includes the durable goods and the core durable goods. And the most important thing is the GDP, the gross domestic product to be announced from the US markets, the weekly initial jobless claims, and another speech by Christine Lagarde following the meeting. Of course, that's the press conference that we will be looking for. And on Friday as well, we have very important data to look for, which is the personal consumer expenditures index or indicator, which is the most, let's say, important inflation measure for the Federal Reserve. So let's see what's happening recently with the inflation in the United States and how will this affect the Federal Reserve decisions in the upcoming meetings. That's for basically the economic agenda. Let's quickly have a look on what's happening in the markets technically, and starting off with the dollar index. We can see that the dollar index on the 4-hour time frame is trying to form a top here, and you can see this clearly on the daily time frame. So after reaching the highs of 107 points, we are trending lower on momentum indicators. So the dollar index is not really able to move any further, and we are starting to form what seems to be a top formation here. However, on the short time frame, let's say on the 4-hour time frame and the shorter ones, we are moving in a sideways range. We are currently trading at the support of 106.15. A rejection from here or from this support should continue a move higher. However, we continue to believe that the dollar index will form new lower highs in the same manner. So even if on the short term today we might see an upward move, however, the area of around 106.50 is a very good potential short area on the dollar index in case we had any support from this level. However, a direct break below should definitely target the levels of 105.70. That's what we see on the dollar index. Regarding the euro versus the US dollar, we are basically trending in a very neat, let's say, upward price channel. So it has been going on for some time now, since the beginning of October, and we have been trending higher and lower. However, as we can see, currently the euro is facing some resistance here around the levels of 1.06. Let me just, yeah, this is the current resistance on the euro. So basically the course of the euro during the week will depend on the current resistance that we are trading on. A break above should definitely mean a target to the upper limit of the price channel. However, staying below will be targeting the lower limit, which should end by breaking below and continuing the major downtrend on the euro. Let's see what will happen on the euro, especially with the interest rate decision. The pound is basically a little bit ahead of the euro, and we already broke below the price channel, and I do really believe that the pound will be targeting the levels of 1.2060 on the short term. What's happening on the dollar yen is really interesting, because we are back again to the levels of 150 yen, which is the levels of interest to the Bank of Japan, and we always see multiple interferences in the market by the Bank of Japan. So from here, you should never think of buying the dollar yen pair, and instead wait for a lower low on the 30 minutes time frame, and you can short to continue this sideways range on the short term. Let's end the video today with gold. What's happening on gold? Basically, we are currently trading around the levels of 1978, which is a key level of resistance. That's on the 4-hour time frame. On the 30 minutes time frame, we can see that the gold is heading higher, so we might be expecting to see the levels of 1960, 1996, which is the high for the previous week again during this week and probably maybe during today's session. So that was all for today's daily markets outlook. Thank you so much for watching this, and please stay tuned for this daily video to provide you with guidance in the markets that was provided you by the market research team at OnePro. We'll see you later in next videos. Please stay safe.